Tamriel is a land brimming with magic and wonder, where the simple act of taking a walk through the woods can lead to an extraordinary adventure and new things to discover. All that magical scenery comes with a dark side, though. Dark Brotherhood resides in that darkness. For generations, the Brotherhood has stood as an agent of chaos in Tamriel. At the head of the group is a mysterious and probably long dead figure. The Night Mother plays a big role in the recent Elder Scrolls games, but her real-world inspiration may come from a bunch of older sources. Some believe that the Night Mother is based off of Lilith, Adam's first wife in Jewish folklore. According to most interpretations of the story, Lilith refused to obey Adam and as a result was cast out of the garden. Then, according to some versions of the tale, she went on to mate with demons and even give birth to a few little monsters of her own. In ancient Hebrew texts, the term Lilith, or Lilith, translates to night monster and night hag. So, there's the night, but where's the mother? Well, that word has come up in association with Lilith as well. According to Arabic folklore that can be traced back to famous Muslim occult writer Ahmad al-Bundi in the 11th century, Lilith is a demon known as the mother of children. Combine these two mythologies and it is easy to see how Lilith might have influenced the creation of the Night Mother. In true hidden history fashion though, the connection goes a bit deeper than that. In Jewish folklore and modern occultism, there are many rituals that try to communicate with Lilith and ask her for favor or trap her. The most famous of these rituals involve an incantation bowl, which is supposed to help call Lilith. This parallels the Black Sacrament in SKYRIM, where the invoker supposedly spoke directly to the Night Mother through the magic ritual. According to The Sacred Witness, a book that can be found in SKYRIM, the Night Mother was once a member of the Thieves Guild, and a pretty terrible one at that. She found it a lot easier to kill occupants in their home rather than remain unseen. This also parallels many versions of the Lilith story, where she was known to break into homes at night to steal and murder children, usually leaving the parents dead as a result as well. Speaking of the Night Mother, you know who can't get enough of this dead lady? The Dark Brotherhood. We've covered a few things about the Dark Brotherhood in previous videos, but this week we wanted to touch on something that hasn't been mentioned yet. A theory behind the organization's name. As most of you probably know, Bethesda tends to have a thing for a few authors that keep coming up over and over again. Chief among these writers is H.P. Lovecraft. So where does the Dark Brotherhood come into this? Well, some believe the group is named after a Lovecraft story called The Dark Brotherhood. While the story is not about a group of assassins, it is about a dark brotherhood of mysterious beings who disguise themselves as Edgar Allan Poe, another writer that comes up from time to time in Bethesda games, who heavily influenced the darker side of Tamriel. If you are a Lovecraft fan and you haven't heard of the Dark Brotherhood, that's not surprising. Published in a collection well after his death in 1937, the Dark Brotherhood is a posthumous collaboration with Lovecraft's friend Augustus Derleth, a controversial figure amongst Lovecraft fans. Many believe Derleth wrote almost all the stories himself and tried to pass them off as original Lovecraft tales. Derleth's collaborations with Lovecraft still have fans in the Cthulhu fan community. So, did this story actually inspire the name of the Dark Brotherhood? We'll leave that for you to decide. Alright, now it's time to bring back the comment showcase. You thought we forgot about that, didn't you? Well, we did. Anyway, don't worry, because we're back to give you the best and weirdest of your comments. So first up is a great comment from King Nazaru, who believes that the Daedric prince Mephala was inspired by the Sisters of Fate, also known as the Moirae. The parallels between them are certainly there. Mephala was one of 3 good Daedra of the Dunmer, along with Azura and Boethia. This is similar to the Sisters of Fate, Clotho, Lachesis, and Atropos, who are also a trio of deities. Of the 3, Mephala has the most in common with Clothos. Both are known as spinners or web spinners, who see mortal life as a web or tapestry. In Greek, Clothos actually means spinner. This could have influenced Mephala's role as the master of the spider Daedra. Oh, also, we should mention that there's a small chance that Mephala is the Night Mother, but you guys can debate that. It's some pretty confusing stuff. Now it's time for the first bad comment showcase of 2016, which honestly is dead on this week. It's a Lil Joker 5150. Who comes up with these names? Answered our trivia question saying, it's a reference to something nerdy. Now pay me. Hey, you know, he's not wrong. Your check, it's in the mail to your mom's place. Well, that's all for this week. Be sure to like and share and subscribe and stick around to answer our Elder Scrolls trivia. So last week we asked you our first Shoddycast-centric question, and Some of you got it right, though I think it might be luck. The answer was A, Radon Gaming. And actually, the channel does still exist, and you can watch some really, really early Josh and Kyle vids there. Do it! Watch them! Make them squirm! This week we have a deeply nerdy Morrowind question. While adventuring through the Urshulaku burial caverns in the Ashlands, you may come across a room called the Kefka Burial. This is confirmed to be a reference to the antagonist of what game? A, Fire Emblem. B, Final Fantasy VI. C, The Bard's Tale. Or D, Neverwinter Nights.